Campus Safety Commissioner Patel.
Present.
Representative Khatri.
Present.
Representative Devikanan.
Present.
Representative Cannon.
Present.
Representative Joam, she's not gonna be here. Representative Madhu Kalam.
Present.
Representative Caballas.
Present.
Representative Juma is not gonna be here. Representative Fonseca, she's absent. Representative Fabamek, she's gonna be late.
Present.
Oh. Representative Shukla.
Present.
Representative Rothenbaum, she's not gonna be here. Representative Basta.
Present.
Representative Shavde. Representative Whitehair. Representative Barazuddin.
Present.
Representative Shaheen.
Present.
Representative Koleva.
Present.
Representative Balhandu, she's not gonna be here. Representative Salem, she's not gonna be here. Representative Diallo. Representative Brown.
Present.
Representative Shafi.
Present.
Representative Savaz. Representative Labaka.
Present.
Representative Fatima. Representative Kwan.
Present.
Representative Paredjuk.
Present.
Representative Patel.
Present.
All right. Thank you. The next order of business is reading and approval of the minutes. Please take this time to read over the minutes. And this will be the second email in the email chain with the updated meeting packet. Does anyone have any corrections for the minutes? If not, the minutes will stand as approved. The next order of business is reading and approval of the agenda. Please take this time to read over the agenda. All right. Are there any corrections to the agenda?
I motion to add Bill 2025 S6 1017.
All right. There's been a motion to add Bill 2025 S6 1017 to the agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All that oppose, please say nay. Does anyone abstain? The ayes have it. This motion has passed. Please send the bill in the email chain. Are there any other corrections to the agenda? I motion to edit the guest speaker for today, removing Associate Vice Chancellor Raphael Florestal Cavalier from guest speakers. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All that oppose, please say nay. Does anyone abstain? The ayes have it. This motion has passed. All right. Are there any final corrections to the agenda? All right. If not, the agenda will stand as approved. The next order of business is public comment. Is there any public comment? If not, we will move on to the next order of business. And the next order of business is guest speakers. We have Executive Director of the UIC Counseling Center, Dr. Shanae Bridges-Carter, here today. President Assad, would you introduce her for us?
Yes. Dr. Shanae Bridges-Carter is new to UIC, but she's able to come here and talk to us about student health and well-being. She has a presentation for us, so please give her a warm hand as she comes up.
Thank you.
Do you have a presentation?
Oh, no.
Is it in the USB?
It's in this USB.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. I called it a jump drive.
Yeah, no worries.
No, that's okay.
Do you have
An HTV. Yeah. I should take, no, it's all. I'll just-
Sorry.
That's okay.
It's a lot, it's called, sorry.
No,
It's
no,
called
it's-
UIC, you probably want to read at the bottom, or you could just type UIC in the search.
This 3:30.
Yep, that's it, thank you,
Alright.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
Love it when stuff works. Good evening, everyone. My name is Shanae, and I started at UIC in the Counseling Center January 13th. So this is maybe like week 7 or something for me. So I am filling in for Raphael today because he wasn't feeling well. And so I was planning to come anyway, so I told him I could just kind of fill in for him. So I'll just go over a few of the highlights that he wanted to make sure got mentioned in terms of just updating you all about, oh, sorry, if you could go, is it messing up?
I'm trying to.
It's okay, if, I mean, you know, I understand if you want to see the slideshow. Is it not working?
Does it work slow?
Yep, that's good, perfect right there. So just talking a little bit about who we are, what we do, some updates and progress that we've made, and what's ahead for student well-being. And then I will try my hardest to answer any questions that you all might have. But if there are questions I am unable to ask, I will certainly take notes and make sure that we are able to follow up with you all about any responses I'm unable to provide. Could we go to the next slide, please? There's not that many slides, so I won't be doing this for a long time. So really what we're trying to do is create a campus that emphasizes and encourages wellness among the campus community. We want you all to be able to feel from the classroom to the residence hall to your student organizations that wellness is something that matters, that is encouraged, that you all are, that's considered in every aspect of student life. And we want to really be able to do this through engagement, interdisciplinary collaboration, and providing high-quality, accessible programs and services. We truly want UIC to be an environment where every student is able to thrive academically, socially, and personally. Go to the next slide. So our team is comprised of the Counseling Center, which I am here to personally represent. We provide mental health services, crisis support, and resources to students. Also, public health initiatives. Public health initiatives really looks at campus health surveillance. So how are we as a campus doing health-wise? What does the research say we're doing? How is the campus community doing kind of as a whole? Looking at education and disease prevention. So really those preventative measures. Recreation and well-being. So this is looking at fitness, sports, and wellness programs. And then also the Wellness Center, which focuses on peer education, outreach, and other essential well-being resources. So next we have some departmental updates. So starting with the Counseling Center, so I'm kind of on the agenda, so they welcomed me. I actually have about 20 years of University Counseling Center experience. Prior to coming to UIC, I was actually at Northwestern University, but I've also worked at Chicago State University, Loyola, DePaul, Illinois State University, so I've been a lot of different places. I don't stay still too long. But I've been a lot of different places and just seen how different types of institutions manage student mental health, and so I'm really excited to be here at UIC I'm excited to see what we can accomplish here. We've restructured our community engagement and outreach team. So just maybe 2 weeks ago, we welcomed a new associate director of community engagement and outreach, and we're really excited to welcome her and see what she has in store for us, really revamping and reimagining what outreach can look like here at UIC. We are in the process of hiring for a psychoeducation assessment coordinator. So we're looking at the job description for this role and looking at what do we need this role to look like, because we know that assessment is a huge component of what our students really are asking for and what could benefit our students that we're not already currently providing at the counseling center. So we're really just in the, I think, final part of the process of finalizing what this role would look like so that we can then begin recruitment. And psychiatry services. So we currently have on our staff a psychiatrist from NPI who's just really part-time, but we're looking at our ability to expand the services that they're able to provide so that we can connect our services, our students, to psychiatry services within the confines of the counseling center, so that students don't always have to go external to the counseling center to be connected with psychiatry services. We also have trainees, 8 trainees, as well as 22 full-time clinicians at our counseling center. Next, we have public health initiatives. So our public health initiatives, again, this is really kind of a lot of the research arm and education arm of our team. So they launched the Healthy Mind Study so that they can better understand student mental health needs. And we certainly encourage folks whenever, and we plan to launch this survey on a consistent basis so that we can assess how students are utilizing wellness services on campus and what gaps might exist. So this was a survey that was launched, I think, in the spring, this past spring. So we're really still just picking apart the data to look at what can we learn from the last survey, and then also looking ahead to the next one so that we can try to fill in gaps, but also assess for what we still need to do. This was public. There was also a behavioral health guide that was published. So this is really a resource for folks being able to find different resources on campus. UIC, as I'm sure you know, is kind of like, I imagine, like a web of different resources that exist, but it can be easy to get lost in the different services and resources that are available. So we're really trying to provide students with a resource where you can find what information you need, what support you need, and really trying to make this more accessible for folks. Also looking at our infectious disease tracking and prevention efforts so that we can keep our students safe, and also promoting the use of vaccinations so that we can reduce preventable diseases. In terms of recreation and well-being, we're just trying to encourage students to look at it as more than just a gym. We're really there to provide access to connection and connecting students with one another and with resources to really look at well-being as a holistic effort. We are looking to have crisis counselors available on West Campus so that we can increase accessibility of mental health services, and also upgrading the facilities. You all may have gotten an email recently about some construction that's going to be going on. So this is to kind of upgrade our facilities, make sure that everything is safe for our students. And we also understand that exercise is medicine. So we really want students to engage at various levels of fitness and understand that exercise is crucial to your well-being and your mental fitness as well. And the Wellness Center is going to continue to provide mental health first aid training. So we really want folks to understand how they can provide support to peers who might be in distress. And we're also looking at Dion's Dream Vault, which is now on West Campus, to increase access to fresh fruits and vegetables for students. We're also looking at certified peer educator training. So we're looking to help promote student well-being, and we understand that sometimes a peer is a student's best support access. So we're really looking to increase that among students. And new wellness kiosks so that we're giving easy access to health and wellness resources for students on campus. Some of our progress on strategic priorities. So again, we're really looking at embedding well-being into everything that we do so that we can promote healthy actions both locally and globally. Our chancellor's commitments, we are increasing staff and expanding training and increasing outreach so that we can support mental health initiatives on campus. Also, the Mental Health Early Action on Campus Act. So this is a law that is a statewide law to try to ensure that students across the state are able to have access to mental health support. And then clarifying pathways to care and student support. Again, really just looking to strengthen the connections that we have both on campus as well as in the community for the connections and advocacy that students will need to maintain their own wellness. In terms of what's next, we're really looking at creating a website that is a one-stop shop for both the counseling center, public health, student rec, and the wellness center. So it can be a one-stop hub for finding support and resources. We're also looking at increasing access to screening tools so that students are able to do these screenings online from the comfort of their home or their computer so that they can kind of get that initial connection to screening that might lead them to a connection to a different resource that they might be in need of. Again, expanding telehealth services, so definitely virtual counseling is something we're able to promote and we're able to offer in the counseling center, but we're also looking to connect with other resources that can expand maybe the hours and things like that for other resources that students can connect to. Again, certified peer educator programs. Again, this is through the Wellness Center. We ask students to please be able to get involved and make an impact. And again, our campus-wide strategic plan for increasing well-being across the campus. I talked really fast because I don't know what else you all have on your agenda, but I didn't want to waste time or anything. But please let me know if you all have questions or if there's anything I can try to answer for you all today.
Is there like a timeline for some of these things? Like some of them seem like they will happen maybe like next year or years to come, but are any of these things happening maybe this semester or next?
So we're really looking, so unfortunately I can't really speak to the initiatives of like the Wellness Center and the other areas, but in terms of the Counseling Center, I can say that we are hoping to recruit for the assessment coordinator role in this next semester. So we're hoping to have that position filled before the end of the academic year. We have been having meetings because the campus-wide initiatives is not just involving our 4 areas, but it's also involving faculty, it's involving deans from other, academic colleges. So a lot of these, I think you were right, are kind of longer term initiatives, but we have absolutely started to get the ball rolling on a lot of them, because I'm sure you can imagine really trying to change the campus to being one that's more wellness oriented is a long-term goal. And unfortunately, it's not something that, we can really put a timeline on, but it's certainly something that we've already gotten the ball rolling on. And I know it's something that we have the backing of the university administrators, so that I don't think it's something, even as administration might change, I don't think that's something that is going to lose steam. So it's something that we certainly have the support of, not only kind of in like verbally, but also in terms of both putting their money where their mouth is, so to speak, right? So that's certainly something that we have gotten the ball rolling with in a lot of different areas. So unfortunately, I'm unable to answer that in as specific a way as you asked, but we've certainly started. I've been in like at least 3 or 4 meetings about it myself just in the past few weeks that I've been here, if that's helpful to you.
No, well, thank you.
Thank you for asking.
All right. Does anyone have any other questions? Good.
One of the issues we heard about like a few years ago was wait time for counselors.
Yeah.
Is there any wait time today? Do you know anything about that?
I do not know about that. So our system, the way that it works, and trust me, I'm still kind of trying to orient myself to the clinical processes at the counseling center, but I know right now we don't have a wait list. So what that means is if a student comes in and it's determined that their clinical needs are appropriate for the types of services we can provide, I don't think they have to wait probably not even longer than a few days to get connected with a clinician that's going to be able to see them for ongoing treatment. So that's my current understanding, but again, if you find something different, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. My email address is sbridges, if that's helpful at all to folks. They still have my same email address from when I was a student at U of I, which I find to be hilarious. That was in the 90s. So still the same, so it's not Carter, it's Bridges, that's my maiden name. So if you ever encounter a difficulty, please don't hesitate to reach out to me, and I'm happy to try and resolve the issue directly.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions for Dr. Carter? All right. If not, thank you for your time.
Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate your time, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jump drive.
Yes, of course. Don't pull it out just yet.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's an old jump drive too. I've had it since the early 2000s.
Oh, wow.
But it still does what it needs to do.
I'll make sure to give it back. Don't worry.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. We'll make sure to send your email in the email chain in
Please
case anyone
do.
wants to reach out. with
I
questions.
appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Am I supposed to go now?
If you want.
Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. Once again, thank you to Dr. Bridges Carter for presenting, and we'll move on to the next order of business. And the next order of business is old business. First, we have Bill 2025 S5 1011. Can a chief sponsor please read this for us?
Yeah, so I'll be reading this bill today, Bill 2025 S5 2011, the study solution bill. The chief sponsors are Director Yapu and the Student Success Committee. The co-sponsors are President Assad, Vice President Abeli, and Chief of Staff Obri. Whereas the undergraduate student government is committed to supporting student success and well-being, particularly during high-stress academic periods, and whereas students frequently gather at the Richard J. Daly Library to prepare for final exams, and whereas maintaining focus and well-being is essential for academic performance, and students often neglect meals and self-care during finals, and whereas fostering a supportive and collaborative study environment can help alleviate stress and enhance student motivation, then let it be resolved that the undergraduate student government will host a study police event tentatively on April 30th, 2025 at the Richard J. Daly Library to support students preparing for final exams. Let it be further resolved that USG will collaborate with campus partners to provide an engaging and resourceful study environment, including academic support, study material, and wellness resources. Let it be further resolved that USG will allocate $2,000 for the purchase of food and snacks to support students studying for exams. Let it be further resolved that USG will promote this event to ensure students are aware of the available resources and support.
All right, thank you. Are there any questions or comments regarding this bill? And would anyone like to introduce any amendments? If not, we will be voting on this bill tonight. If there are no further comments on it, we will move on to voting. All those in favor of adopting Bill 2025 S5 1001, please say aye.
Aye.
All that opposed, please say nay. Does anyone abstain? The ayes have it. This bill has passed. All right, next we'll move on to Bill 2025 S5 3010. Can a chief sponsor please read this for us?
Yeah, I'll be reading this as well. The bill 2025 S5 2010, Research Laboratory Fundamentals Boot Camp. The chief sponsors are Representative Jason Whitehair and the SSC Committee. Co-sponsor is Vice President Abeli and Chief of Staff Obri. Whereas the undergraduate student government is committed to supporting the academic and professional growth of UIC students, and whereas many students, particularly underclassmen, lack access to practical training in laboratory techniques and research etiquette, which are critical for their success in STEM fields, and whereas offering a lab foundational skill workshop aligns with UIC's mission to provide comprehensive educational resources and to prepare students for academic and professional careers, And whereas this initiative will primarily serve students interested in scientific research within the biosciences, promoting confidence and competence in basic lab operations, safety, and scientific methodology. And whereas this workshop can be implemented in collaboration with UIC's STEM departments and graduate student facilitators to ensure high-quality instruction, then let it be resolved that USG will support the implementation of the Lab Foundational Skill Workshop by facilitating collaboration with UIC STEM departments, promoting student participation and coordinating with experienced facilitators to provide hands-on training and educational resources. Let it be further resolved that the workshop will be conducted as an 8-week in-person program and will include interactive sessions on lab safety, equipment handling, class experiments, and scientific methodology. Let it be further resolved that this program will include feedback mechanism to continuously improve future iterations and enhance student engagement. Let it be further resolved that USG will work with UIC STEM departments and relevant individuals to ensure the workshop is effectively implemented and promoted.
All right, thank you. Are there any questions, comments, or amendments for this bill? If not, we will be voting on this bill tonight. All those in favor of adopting Bill 2025 S5 3010, please say aye.
Aye.
All that oppose, please say nay. Does anyone abstain? The ayes have it. This resolution has passed. All right.
I motion to go back to the agenda.
Okay, so you're going to say, I motion to suspend the rules and go back to the agenda.
I motion to suspend the rules and go back to the agenda.
All right, there has been a motion to suspend the rules and go back to the reading and approval of the agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All that oppose, please say nay. Does anyone abstain? The ayes have it. We will be going back to the reading and approval of the agenda. Are there any amendments that need to be made to the agenda?
I motion to add Bill 2025 S5 5003 into old business.
All right. There has been a motion to add Bill 2025 S5 5003 to old business. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All that oppose, please say nay. Does anyone abstain? The ayes have it. Bill 2025 S5 5003 is added to old business. Are there any other amendments to the agenda? If not, the agenda will now stand as approved, and we will move forward to old business, which we have Bill 2025 S5 5003. Would you please be able to send that in the email chain?
I just said.
Okay. We'll just wait a minute for it to load, because I don't think I've received it yet. Okay, we'll just wait like another minute for it to load. The Wi-Fi can be a little. You see it? Okay. All right. Since it's now loaded, you can read it as the chief sponsor is reading the bill.
Bill 2025 S5 5003, the USG Feeling Lucky Instagram giveaway. The chief sponsors is the PAC committee. Whereas the Public Affairs Committee is tasked with the job of communicating information about the undergraduate student government events and activities to students, and whereas Instagram is the main method that USG uses to promote events in an effective manner, but many students with Instagram do not currently follow the official account of USG, and whereas a social media giveaway will incentivize students to follow our account to ensure they stay updated, Then let it be resolved, at UIC, USG will host an Instagram giveaway for a $50 UIC bookstore gift card for the week of St. Patrick's Day, starting the week of March 10th and ending on the 17th. Let it be further resolved, students will be required to follow the at UIC USG Instagram account, comment on the post, and repost the post on their story in order to enter the giveaway. Let it be further resolved, the winner will be chosen randomly from the comment section and required to provide proof of having followed the entry guidelines in order to receive the prize, which they must claim within 48 hours.
All right. Thank you for reading the bill. Are there any questions, comments, or amendments for this bill? Yep.
Will it just be one winner?
Yeah, it'll just be one winner.
Any other questions or comments? Yep.
Will there be any other events specifically meant to promote the USG Instagram account before this raffle begins? Just to have
What do you-
outreach people.
Wait, what do you mean event? Like,
Would we be intentionally promoting the Instagram's USG account before this Feeling Lucky raffle begins? Something that's meant to have more people exposed to Instagram, so there's a bigger.
nothing planned, but I do like that idea. Yeah, that's a good suggestion.
All right. Are there any other questions or comments on this bill? Glenn?
Just a comment, particularly for Treasury Committee. In the past, we've had trouble with gift cards, so you might want to be open to the possibility of giving away a gift basket, maybe with like notebooks or something else. Just keep that in mind, that you should be open to something else of equivalent value rather than a gift card.
We're thinking of also doing just like, if the rules don't allow a gift card, just doing like a blanket from the bookstore, just to kind of make up for that.
All right. Are there any other questions or comments regarding this bill? If not, we will be voting on this bill tonight. All those in favor of adopting Bill 2025 S5 5003, please say aye.
Aye.
All that oppose, please say nay. Does anyone abstain? The ayes have it. Bill 2025 S5 5003 has passed. The next order of business is new business. First, we have Bill 2025 S6 1013. Can a chief sponsor please read this for us?
I will be reading this bill. This bill is the USG State of the Student Dinner 2024-25. Chief sponsors are President Assad, Vice President Haybelly, myself, and Treasurer Klimek. Co-sponsors are the entire board, including our speaker and secretary. Whereas the undergraduate student government represents the University of Illinois Chicago student body, and whereas USG has hosted an annual State of the Student event in previous years to highlight USG's advocacy accomplishments and to rally support for current USG initiatives, and whereas USG is dedicated to promoting the work and services USG is doing now and has done in previous academic years, then let it be resolved that the undergraduate student government will host the USG State of the Student on April 3rd from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. on SCE Terrace as an opportunity to invite administrators, student leaders, and other stakeholders to show what USG has done over the 2024-2025 school year. And let it be further resolved that the undergraduate student government will allocate a maximum of $2,000 to book the space and provide light refreshments and snacks. And let it be resolved that all unspent funds shall be returned to the USG budget.
All right, thank you. Are there any questions or comments on this bill?
Maybe we can use events like this to also like promote the Instagram. Maybe do like another little small giveaway of something we already have in the office. Just to
Yeah, that's a good idea. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions or comments for this bill? If there are no further questions or comments, we will be voting on this bill next week. Next, we have Bill 2025 S6 1014. Can the chief sponsor please read this for us?
Yeah, I'll be reading this bill.
cultural festival, then let it be further resolved that USG will host a cultural festival to support the diverse UIC student body and give students an opportunity to celebrate different cultures from around the world. Let it be further resolved that this event will take place in the UIC quad later in the spring of 2025. Approximate date, April 10th, time to be determined. Both are subject to change as weather permits, and it will be open to cultural centers, student organizations, and all UIC students to attend or table. Let it further be resolved that USG will provide $4,000 to fund the event, including purchasing, catering, stage, and promotion materials. Let it be further resolved that all unspent funds will be returned to the USG project.
All right, thank you. Are there any questions or comments for this bill? Okay.
So from what it says, student organizations are allowed to sign up to table events that represent their culture. Is that correct? And have you guys started with the form that they would have to fill out?
So after the passing of the bill, we will start doing that. We will start reaching out to organizations. Me and Pranav are working on it. We will be also reaching out to cultural centers.
And is there a limit on how many organizations that can?
So for now, there's no limit. We'll see how the return is and let me decide.
Are they just gonna be like tabling, or do you have like activities and stuff planned?
So for what we have decided, it's like open to our organization and culture centers in which they'll table and they'll showcase their cultures. For that, they can showcase their clothing, or as well as like they can display their food. For activities, we are planning on opening slots for some performances from different organizations. They can sign up for that, but we'll start doing that as we reach out.
Also, additionally, we're gonna have, we'll have like the normal thing, like we'll have food and then a DJ as well, if there aren't as many performances to fill the whole event.
Are there any other questions or comments, Victoria?
So since there will be a cultural festival, would there be something such as a competition style, if people decide to do any dances or promote their culture in a different way, or it's just meant to be like convey such a culture?
It's not that sort of a competition, it's just performances, and it's open to all. It will not be decided in the end who is the winners.
So would it be more so organized such as something we can all observe?
Yeah.
Or are they gonna be just dancing in the background and we're gonna talk about different?
So in the background, like tabling will be going on, but in the middle of the court, the performances will be there. If there are no performances, we'll have the DJ, and for the performances, there'll be time slot. If organizations sign up, they can perform. If they don't, the DJ will be there.
But the performances would still be the central part of it.
Yeah.
How we planned it is in the quad around the green areas where all the cultural fest tables will be, where people are tabling to show off their cultures, and then in the center we want to get like some sort of a raised platform, and then we'll have whoever opts in to perform on that stage, or the DJ will bring on. So it should be like the focal point of the event.
All right. Are there any other, Gia?
Oh, I was gonna ask, for like the DJ or anything, could you guys get like a playlist with like music from like different cultures or something? So then like that way it's kind of like on theme maybe?
Yeah, I think that's the point. What we were thinking is to incorporate music from like a wide variety of cultures, and you could also, we haven't like fully thought about this yet, but we could also implement some sort of like survey system where we see what people want to hear when they sign up to a table. If they want to input like a couple songs that they would like to be played throughout the night. I mean, I'm sure that's possible.
I feel like getting people on a raised stage can be a little nerve-wracking sometimes. So like, what is the incentive to get people to come on to the stage?
Can you say that again, please?
Like, coming onto a raised platform could be a little nerve-wracking sometimes, and also having to like go all the way home, get your cultural dress on, whatever. Like, what are we doing to incentivize people to come onto the stage?
So for the stage, it won't be like if someone shows up, they can just perform. It will be the organizations who will sign up for the slots, and then they will perform. So they will come prepared for their performances.
Okay, so the question still stands, like, what are we doing to incentivize?
Just to add on a little bit, so it's not really, we don't want to incentivize them through prizes, just because I feel like it looks bad to say that this performance was better than this performance, especially if there were different cultures involved. But the main incentivized, like the main thing that they're incentivized by is because a lot of the we anticipate to be performing are different like cultural dance groups on campus. So it's a good like promotional thing and also just a good way to practice in front of a pretty big audience that we expect a large turnout.
Have we talked to like some people, like do we know how many people are gonna like roughly perform or anything, or that hasn't been like?
Unfortunately, you can't like officially start talking and getting people invited until we pass the bill. So right after, we're gonna send out a form and promote that form through like social media and everything to help get that, like get those numbers and see and like kind of plan everything out.
Like we still have time, that's why we're passing the bill right now. We have more than a month and we reach out to all the organizations and culture centers.
Oh, no, Jacob?
So just to clarify, right? So this is a festival to show up people's different cultures through dance.
It's one avenue to show off your culture. Like I don't know, some of the culture festivals that I've been to in previous schools and everything, dance and not just dance, but different kinds of performances were used to kind of show off one's culture. But that's not the only way. We incentivize people to show off their culture in like whatever way they see fit, whether it be like a tribal just explaining where they're from and the different practices that they have, or as Abdullah said, wearing their cultural like clothes, or even showcasing like the food that they have within their culture at their food.
I'm sorry. So it would be like more like on the student side to like kind of represent their culture in their own perspective of it.
Yeah.
Can I just suggest that like if it's going to be based on the students, right, that we should try to keep it like, if the students are going to be representing the culture, right, that we should try to keep it as like neutral as possible, so the students are the ones that are bringing the culture from different backgrounds, if that makes sense. So it's not like one person is like more representative than the other. Because I remember like last year, like me and the like diversity and inclusion, like we had like a food festival, and like food doesn't want to eat, you know what I mean? And like people tried different foods, and there was like one DJ. It didn't really seem kind of like, it kind of felt like you got a taste of everything, you know? But like performances, it's like restricted by time and like certain things and stuff. So that's just what I think. So if it's going to focus more on the students, I think kind of like create like a foundation for students to kind of bring themselves on to represent their cultures. And then it'll create like an actual clear body of how diverse UIC really is. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so for that, that's why we are reaching out to different organizations, and it's up to them how they represent their culture. That's why we have given them an option that they can come in their culture clothes, or maybe they can display their culture food or something that relates to their culture. It's just for showcasing the students like there are these cultures on campus and how UIC is diverse. It's not to compete against a certain culture, and it's not that something we are organizing. It's different organizations, and they are bringing in their own stuff and their culture, if that makes sense.
Just to add on a little bit, we're also trying to set a foundation for every culture, because we understand like what you're saying with obviously some cultures can overpower like other cultures, especially depending on the numbers and everything. But that's kind of where we're gonna have like an open invite, of course, so every student is welcome. But we also are gonna do like more specialized invites to different cultural boards and the different cultural centers to make it more not diverse, but like more spread out, I guess, between the cultures, not make it like concentrated in one region versus another. I don't know if I understood your question correctly, but that was.
I feel like the question I was kind of asking was like, because I remember last year I was doing like the food stuff, right? Like the food was kind of like, it was like practical in some sense. I'm not saying this is not. This is like food, it's like you eat from a samosa and you eat like a empanada, you know what I mean? You eat this, you eat that, you know what I mean? And it's like a taste of different variations, right? And it doesn't really, kids are being fed, right? Nobody's really like seeing like an overrepresentation of a specific thing, if that makes sense. I'm just saying like something like this can possibly like restricted by the amount of people that are more present at UIC, if that makes sense. But it's like a festival, right? So you have to do like Okay, I don't know, like certain dances from certain cultures might take like 10 minutes. Another dance from another culture might take like 5 minutes. Or another dance from another culture might be like 2 seconds or something, you know what I mean?
I guess, just so that we don't like keep going back and forth, something that I did when I organized the cultural fair for the first time, like 3 years ago, was we gave a standard time slot. And so that sort of just makes sure that like if they do have a performance, they either have to cut it short or extend it if they want to fill the time slot. And like while that, you know, like some dances might be shorter, some dances might be longer, they can fill that time with other, either like maybe they have poetry that they want to say or like just different things from their culture that they want to share. But that sort of gives anyone that does want to take part in the stage part of the cultural fair a sort of equal presence, if you will. And I think they do have food as well at the cultural fair this year. So that sort of participation and like sort of equal representation should also be present.
Yeah, I understand the point. I think it's very valid too, because it was different than what we organized last year. So it makes sense that we think like that. But I think the point they are trying to create this year is, yeah, last year we focused on more like different cultural food. This year there is still food, but I think maybe like Panaspi side or maybe a new system, they can create like a fair and equal possibilities to show cultures. I think it's also a very important part to do, but thank you for mentioning that.
Maya, did you have anything about?
I was just gonna say, like, your point on like the different kinds of foods for each culture was like a great point that we were talking about in our meeting. But with the budget, we were kind of just a little worried about that. So we were talking about maybe just like providing some like lemonade refreshers and such, and like also to your point too as well, Dream. Like I understand how like the whole part about them showcasing their dances could like, I guess, be like a lot on them. But this is also like the event's more so about like tabling and like letting students know like the centers are there for them, and also like as well as the organizations. There's some that we don't really know of, or like students may not like be aware. So it's more so just to like table out that and not more so like focus on just like the dances and stuff, which is just like another thing to add on for like for them to show.
Tanushree?
I just realized like everyone would have a lot of questions about the fest. So if you guys have any questions, you can always like reach out to any of the DIC members too. Even if you won't have any ideas or just questions you want to talk to that, we're sure like we'll use the ideas and then incorporate it into it.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, one last question, but as for student boards that are attending, what are they allowed to bring and what are they not allowed to bring? Because I know, like, our student boards are allowed to bring like homemade food and present it, or like, you know, hand it out, like USC has these strict like food policies, or are they allowed to bring activities that take up this amount of space? So think about what can student boards bring, and what can they not bring?
Yeah, so with regards to food, we do want them to have the opportunity to bring food, but due to, as you said, the regulations that we have at USC, they won't be able to hand out food. We're still going to be providing some form of catering, so we'll take care of the like main food service for everyone. But they're encouraged to show off like the different foods that they have. They want to keep it at their stand, and that kind of also goes along with the activities part. We're not the allotted space that they have is with their table. So if it fits on their table or with their presentation in some form, then that's totally fine. But we're not going to be able to accommodate like extra space for them, just because it is also the quad and people are walking around.
Jacob?
So you guys are doing it based on like cultural centers, right?
We're going to invite cultural centers as well. Yeah.
So